This is strange. Good morning. Now we're frozen. I feel like I'm in La La Land here. Let me try it from my phone. This is not working today. Oh, but I guess it is working today. Who knows? Good morning, everyone. Hi, it's Stacy. This is Walking in My Shoes, and we are loving my veteran. Internet is slow as usual out here at Mom's. So I want to say good morning. It is Fabulous Friday. It is the day we come together and just get ready for the weekend and take account of our week, what's gone on. Let's get rid of the negative and look at the positive and just see where we are in our week, because that is super important that we do that, and it makes us have a much, much, much better time going forward into the weekends when we start learning to take accountability and look at the positive moments. Good morning, Melissa. So it is that Friday. You and Limeham to us. Let's have a little coffee and let's get excited because it is finally Friday. Had a really, really, really good Let's Talk last night. A lot of insight. And I'm going to kind of give everybody a little sneak peek of what's coming up that we'll be starting to share Monday. But if you're on today, you get a little heads up. We are going to do what we've talked about for a long time. And dates, times, more details are coming. But we are going to do a boot camp for spouses and family of veterans with PTSD. It will be a boot camp. It will be all about the basics, learning how to get started, learning how to navigate. If you've done this a long time, it's a great refresher, but it will be where we come to, and we are super excited. We're going to talk about communication and boundaries and total class. You're going to get a book, a workbook, so much going on with that. We are super excited to have that. We're going to have breakout meetings where you can talk to other people who are going through what you're going through. It's going to be amazing, and we are super excited about that coming on as well. So here we are, Fabulous Friday. Just time to take account of what we're all going through, where we've been, what we've done, how we are on this Friday. What did you have to delve through this week? We all have poop. I know that we all have poop that we have to dig through, and get rid of the junk and look at the good. Get rid of the junk and look at the good. Good morning, Sarah Kim. So we're going to take this time and let's look at the good and where our accomplishments are and where we're going forward into Fabulous Friday. For those of you not seeing, Melissa has the cutest puppies that she's fostering. I could never foster puppies, or I'd have 1,000 of them in my house. And they were precious, by the way. And so last night she got a message on her thing that one of them got adopted, and it was the one that has the cute ears that we just adore. And so Liberty has found a home, and that is a fabulous moment for them. It would be a sad moment for me because that's the cutest little puppy ever. So those are the things we take into account. What are your little victories? And they're personal victories. They're not just veteran victories. What did you do this week that was positive? What did you do this week that was good? What did you do this week that made you feel good? Good morning, Michelle. We have a lot of negativity that is dumped on us. But where did it go with the good side? Where's the good side? Jen, you're feeling better, I hope. And she's having coffee. So where's our good moments? Where's those moments that we're just going to pick up our bootstraps and say, I did this? So take this time, if you've not added to your victory wall this week, add to your victory wall. Find your victories. What were your victories? Okay, so let me just kind of tell you where my week is, because, my mom and Carl were laughing a minute ago and said, oh, she's finally found something she can do where she talks a lot and people like it. I'm like, shut up, Mom. So I laughed about it, and I was like, it kind of hurt my feelings. And then I'm like, no, that didn't hurt my feelings. That was a compliment. That was my victory. I can talk, and it's good, and we all move forward, and I get to celebrate that as a victory. What could be better? So my week has been, my mom had shoulder surgery a couple weeks ago, and we were up here, and then she ended up with sepsis, and we came back up, and you think about where I am, and I'm like, okay, this is what it is. And I think about all the things in my life that have dragged me down, and I felt down, and when I couldn't be a paramedic anymore, that kind of really dragged me down, and when I had this ability, it dragged me down. And now all of a sudden I'm like, you know what, part of my victory, part of my fabulous Friday is I have the ability to come stay with my mom when I need to. And I think about that, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of okay. We got to we got to go up here because mom's been sick or whatever, and we need to go. But there was no question. It was when mom called and said, hey, they're going to let me go home tomorrow. Can you get here? Yes, ma'am. There was no planning. There was no nothing. It was put the suitcases in the car, put the stuff in the suitcases, then put them in the car, and come up here. So while you don't think about that as being part of your fabulous moments and your victories in life, it's all these things that happen that just allow you to be able to do what you need to do. And I'm thinking, you know what, I didn't have to go beg for time off, and I didn't have to go do this. I just literally got in the car, Carl and I did, in the truck, and drove up here even though the AC went out. And the thing is that the AC had been kind of going out, and we charged it, and then it went out completely. And I get here and we get a whole new air conditioner. Okay, so again, new victory. Again, when you start thinking about, are the bad really as bad as what you think? Nope, there's new victories that come along every day. Where do you find those moments of fabulousness? In amongst all the nonsense, where do you find the moments of fabulousness? I know that someone on here has been struggling with communicating with their veteran. Struggling. Okay, and I think about it, and I'm like, wow, we're going to get through this, and we will help them get through this problem. We'll help them navigate through this. But where the victory is in that is that they are aware enough to know that there's an issue and they need to figure out how to get through it. And so I'm thinking, well, this is cool. Is it a total failure? No. Your fabulous moment in this week, your fabulous moment in that week was that you found that there was a communication issue, and we're going to get through it going forward. So that again is motivation that you've accomplished something well. You've accomplished something well. This is what it's about. We all have negative times are learning experiences, but what did you learn from them? You learned from it to be able to hey, look, I know there's a problem. We're going to find a way to work through it. It may not be working right now, but we're going to keep trying until we find it. That is your victory, and in your Fabulous Friday checkoff list is a victory, because you know what? You're not just wallowing in it anymore. You know there's a problem. You know that you need to work on it. You know you've got to find a solution to get through it, but you can identify it and not just say, hey, I'm going to dwell in this forever. So again, in the midst of feeling this way, these are all your victories. These are all your victories. I think of Jen, who's not been feeling good, has had a really rough time, and every day she gets a little stronger. And those are her victories. She's had forced to take some time and just think about what's important. And I assure you, after being sick like she was, her view of important has totally changed. Her view of what's important has changed some. You do that. And that, again, is your moment of victories. Of course, we're sitting here at the lake, and you can see the reflection in the thing. But I'm sitting here at the lake, and every morning early, this guy goes out here, and they set up a slalom course, and he's slalom skiing. For those of you who don't know what slalom water skiing is, it's on one ski, not two, and they go back and forth through these little, like, cones, but they're buoys, just like slalom skiing down a snow hill. Well, this guy is amazing. Amazing. And my mom actually talked to him yesterday about something else. But this man is in his 70s, over 70, and he used to be the senior world champion. And now he's ranked 14th, and he's got a competition Monday, and so he wants to go out. Mr. Fields wants to go out and practice to get above that level. Well, what is left out of this story at this point is a year ago, Mr. Fields had a massive stroke. And by everything being the way it was, grace of God, whatever you want to call it, he was taken to a center, was given the right medication, and he has come back. And this man is still ranked 14th in the world. Okay, 14th in the world, following a massive stroke. And what does he want to do now? He practices every morning. I watch him for about an hour every morning, practicing every morning, so he can go. His goal is to move up to fifth or higher in the world. And I'm thinking, what a positive victory! What a fabulous Friday! And Jen says the little stuff is just that, little stuff. The focus on life and the positive is front and center. Yeah, it does. It does it not totally change your perspective, Jen, when you get that sick. It totally changes your perspective. So I think about watching this guy being this inspiration, that here he was at the top of his game, had a massive stroke, and now he is back at it, doing it again, practicing, getting better, finding his faults, getting better, and doing it over and over and over again, because he has a goal. He's not wallowing in, I had a stroke. He's not wallowing in, I'm 14th in the world. He is now embracing the fact that he can slalom ski again and wants to get better. That is your fabulous motivation. That is what it's all about. I love it. Nick and I have been having miscommunications lately. He began yelling, but then eventually took a step back and told me last night he's been struggling with motivation to do anything. We all get that way. We all get that way, because that negativity and feeling that way and getting in a funk or whatever is like this massive weight. That quicksand weight. You can move in quicksand, right? But you just keep going further, and it just keeps dragging you down. And so I think that's where we get, and it's being able to do it. But here's the key. Here's, again, talk about motivation and positivity. They've been miscommunicating lately. He began yelling. He took that step back. So yelling stopped. He was like, whoa, like this isn't working right. And what did he do? He opened up and said, I'm struggling with motivation to do anything. Look at the lines. Look at the lines in that little itty bitty comment. Look at the victories in that little bitty comment. We can dwell on the fact that he's not doing anything. He's yelling, da-da-da-da-da, and go right back to all the negative, right? He's yelling, we're not communicating, we're not seeing eye to eye, he's not doing anything. But guess what happened? He knew the miscommunication was there. He started to continue down the road that they've been on before that didn't work. He took a step back and opened up and said, I'm struggling. Look at the positivity there. Huge story, been a huge story. Simone Biles, gymnast. Everybody is talking about Simone this and Simone that and Simone this. Y'all, you want to talk about motivation. Good morning, Sonny. You want to talk about motivation. You want to talk about Fabulous Friday. This girl, probably from the time she was 5 or 6, her entire life became gymnastics. Her entire life became practicing weightlifting, jumping, flipping, doing perfect landings, getting stronger, was told when to get up, was told when to exercise, was told how long to do it, was told what to eat, was told when to sleep, was told everything, right? Because she needed to get to this level at her game. She is there. She is at the top of her game, knowing this will be her last Olympics. And all of a sudden she says, I'm not mentally there. I can't do it. For her to take that step wasn't a step back. I mean, there's so much controversy about it. There's so many people like, well, she just did it. No, that was like the greatest step of bravery forward to say, hold on. I need to take a step back. I am truly at the top of my game. And there was no doubt from any commentator, judge, armchair judge who watched, perfect as far as gymnastics went. And what did she do? She said, I'm mentally not there, and I mentally can't do this, and I mentally need a break, and I mentally am walking away. She didn't say, I'm walking away because I'm not good enough. She didn't say, I mean, this girl is the best in the world. There's not even a discussion on this. This girl is the best in the world by every standard. And she said, my mental health isn't right. I need to step back and do this for me. You want to talk about a fabulous Friday moment. A fabulous Friday moment. That was it. That was being able to take that step out and say, hold on. I don't have to conform to your expectations. Think about all she gave up to be the best in the world. To be the best in the world. To be the best gymnast in the world. Let's rephrase that. Think of what she gave up in her life to become the best gymnast in the world. And that day that she stepped away from the team all around and said, I mentally can't do it, she became the best for her. She became her best at that moment. And that is so hard to see through all the negative controversy and the negative crap and the negative BS. This girl took a step back and said, it doesn't do me any good to be the best gymnast in the world if I'm not good for me. And we forget that so much. That sometimes we work and we work and we work and we work and we try and we try and we try to accomplish this thing. And then we realize this thing is not where we need to be. Sometimes you have to take a step back from this thing. And I guess now is as good a time as any to say it. Y'all know how I feel about the water on the bases. And I was really into Project Your Voice and the toxic water on the bases, and why I still feel that is a huge problem. We made the decision, I made the decision, and then I talked to Carl, and Carl and I made the decision that I'm no longer focusing on Project Your Voice and the water pollution. It is a horrible topic, and from time to time I will post stuff on it. But it's just a rabbit hole I can't go down. That negativity, I can't go down. I need to focus on on what we're doing here, on creating a stronger community, on, good morning, Mark, on creating a stronger community, on building, let's save the lives that are savable. Let's save marriages. Let's work on communications with each other. Let's stop this nonsense of these number of veterans who are dying. Let's just stop that. Let's move forward. This is where I need to do my focus. And you know, I was so excited because I was like, oh my gosh, you know, Erin Brockovich, and that was like my thing, and that was like this stamp of approval. And to be able to take a step back and say, you know, this is not healthy for me, was probably a greater victory in my fabulous Friday moment. And so those are the things that we look at. Those are the things that we look towards. Those are the things that we pull out. Those are the things that we take back, and we take a step back and we look at the fabulousness. Sometimes the fabulous moments, the victories, come from stepping out. Sometimes sometimes the victories come from stepping away. I'm not talking about leaving your relationships. What I'm talking about is stepping away, stepping out from where you've been. Sometimes that is truly the fabulousness. We get the best nurse, the best doctor, the best paramedic, the best teacher, the best whatever we are, we get so caught up in that. We have to be the best at this. Oh, this is where our relationship is going. This is kind of where we defined where it's going. This is kind of where we think that this is going. This is kind of where we're at where this is going. And I have to be the best at this. This is where we have our steps. We're going to do this, and then we're going to do this the next week. And we all have our goals. We all set our goals for our life, and everybody does. And this is where we're going to be. And sometimes you don't reach that goal. And sometimes you're going towards a goal, and you realize that this is not the path you need. And to stop and say, hold on, this is not the path I need to go down. This is not the path I thought it was going to be a year ago when I started. You've still grown. I need to go a different way. I need to rethink where I'm at. I need to reevaluate what's important. I need to do that. That is not failure. That is not failure. That is your moments of victory when you can step out of that situation and say, I don't have to be the best gymnast in the world. I have to be the best me in the world. And that's all we can do. You can't be the best me. I can't be the best you because I'm not you, you're not me. But you can be the best you. And sometimes being the best you means stepping out. It means stepping away. It means not following the path that somebody else thinks you should be down. It means walking away from the pressure of where you think you need to be. You're not the fixer. You're not the cure. You're not the do-all. We all do this. You're not the strong one all the time. When you can't be strong all the time, we find ourselves thinking of ourselves as failures. You know where the truth is? The truth is when you can take a step back and say, I'm struggling. I'm struggling. When you can say those words, I'm struggling, regardless of what you're struggling about, when you can say to somebody else, I'm struggling, that is a victory. That is a victory. So my victory hero this week, you can tell this to Nick, Melissa, is Nick. My victory hero this week is Nick. Want to know why Nick is my hero? Because Nick didn't do it alone this time. Because Nick didn't go down the path he had went down before this time. He said to Melissa, I'm struggling. So my victory hero this week is Nick. I'm going to give it to Nick this week. Nick is that hero. He said, I'm struggling. Y'all, that is so motivational. That is such a fabulous moment. I know, Melissa, you've been through the week or two of hell, but that is your fabulous Friday moment. I'm struggling. He didn't do what he did before. He didn't do what he did before. He said it. I am so excited. And that's where we have to be. Open, honest, having these conversations, being real, admitting that we're not perfect. Those are your motivational moments, your fabulous Friday moments. That's what you do. So take this time right now. Take your time and look at where you're at. What have you accomplished? Where are you going? Where's your journey? You're not spinning in circles. I don't care how deep in the muck you think you are today. I don't think, no matter how far you think you are in the muck today. Jen, prime example. Jen, were you not sitting there? Were you not sitting there with a tube in your nose to get rid of your gastric nut stuff from your surgery? Were you not almost dead in the bed? Are you still having a slow moment coming back? Absolutely. But you know what? Your fabulousness is where you are today versus where you were then. That is your fabulous Friday. Look at where you've come from. Look at what you're doing. Sarah, Kim, I know you're struggling. We know you're struggling from your other posts that you put on. We know you're struggling, but you know what? You've identified that you're struggling today, and you've identified that you need to come up with the plan, and you've identified that there needs to be a solution, and you're working towards that solution. You may not have found it yet, but you're working towards that solution. Take that and embrace that and go forward with that, because that's what you do. That's what you do. Yeah, you keep fighting, Jen, and you get better every day, and some days you'll feel crappier and then you'll feel better again, but you're never going back to where you were. You're going to get, every day you get something new. Every mom's shoulder surgery, y'all, she's having PT and rehab and all this lovely crap that goes on, struggling. And I had been gone a week or so from one time to the next. When I came back, the range, even as sick as she had been, the range of motion in her shoulder was so much better. And I'm like, Mama, look at this victory. But I feel like, shit, I don't care, but look at the victory. Look at the victory. She did it. She did it. Those become your motivational moments. Those become your fabulous moments. Those are the things that you take with you, and you just reach around and you grab them and you embrace them. Take and wash the gook off. You know, I am a humongous fan of Oak Island, okay? It's just, don't ask me why, but I am. And I get this little guy, you know, the little Australian guy. He's got his little metal detector, and that little thing makes some little noise, and he's like, oh, when he gets all excited, right? And he pulls this thing up out the ground, and it's all covered in mud and muck. And I'm like, we got excited about this. And it's not until he wipes it off or brushes it off, and even though it's got a lot of dirt on it, you kind of see something emerge. Well, then they went in and they took it to the professional and they washed it and they cleaned it and they did it. And all of a sudden, you realize it's some treasure with some stuff on it. And that's found in the muck. So in the mud and in the muck and in the gook and in the stuff, there are treasures. You have to get rid of the dirt that's around them. That's where you're at on Fabulous Fridays. Look at your week. Look at your dirt and look for your treasures up in your dirt. That's what we do. Those treasures are there. We just have to find them. We have to be looking for them. We have to actively be seeking those treasures. Because if you're not going to find them. You're not going to find them. That's what you do. So I'm going to get off here. I'm going to do a little me time after I do a lot of other time. We should be headed back tomorrow back home. But I want y'all to have a great weekend. I know, I love that show. And if they don't renew the next season, Mark, I'm going to Nova Scotia myself to fix this problem. I'm telling you. This is what we do. Find your fabulousness. Have a fabulous Friday. Look at your week. Don't worry about the poop. Don't worry about the dirt. Don't worry about the muck. Take it and deal with your fabulous moments, with your victory moments. They may be little, but they're there. And when you start adding them up and adding them up and adding them up, before long, there are tons of them. So I want everybody to have a blessed day. I'm Stacy. This has been Walking in My Shoes. We are loving my veteran. Everybody have a blessed weekend. Have your fabulous moments and get rid of your muck. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.